Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video seminar here recording Tuesday, March 4th, talking about Miles Norris, the newest member of the Boston Celtics. He spoke with us at practice for the first time since signing with the team today. Talked about how excited he is to be in Boston. Talked about his first impression of Joe Mazzulla. Talked about his first impression in the locker room. It was fun. He seemed very excited, and we'll see what he can do with probably Maine for most of the year. But still, cool to see a new Celtic in green.
So it was really funny. As we begin this video, I'm on Twitter, and what do I see is Noah's piece describing Miles Norris's introduction to the media. Noah writes, "The newest Celtics spoke to reporters for 5 minutes today, and he described himself as excited 12 times. He is excited to be here. Very good. Good signing. Somebody that wants to play here. All the clips that I saw of Miles Norris is he is happy to be a member of the Celtics. He spent some time up in New Hampshire playing at Brewster Academy, and he was talking to you guys a little bit about that, which, I mean, overall, I like anytime we get a local angle with the Celtics, I'm all for it. I think it adds a little bit of charm to the team. I don't know how much he's going to be playing on the team, but we do know that he's here, and Maine is certainly an option.
Indeed. My favorite quote from the whole thing was, excuse me, Miles Norris was asked about his first impressions of the team and stuff. And one of the things he said was, they had a little film session before. It seems like a really connected group, so I'm really excited to be part of that. Some locker rooms are a little different. They seem like they got a really strong connection chemistry wise in the locker room, so it'll be great to be part of that as well. Which I think tells you a lot about where the Celtics are as a team. Obviously, they brought back players year over year. They have almost an identical roster, but hearing from someone who is just getting in with the team, who has been part of locker rooms in college or high school or in the NBA or the G League or whatever, and say like, yeah, you can tell like that these guys have good chemistry, they like each other, and it's a connected group. Like it's always interesting to hear outsiders who weren't a part of the team beforehand talk about the Celtics in that light, because it's, I feel like a trend that happens.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have somebody who's as excited to be here, and is just like beaming with joy in the introductory press conference, I just think it's a fun story. And the Celtics are a franchise that does elicit that. Like, even without his local ties, I think just about anybody that get to join this team in March ahead of a potential playoff run, even though I don't believe he's playoff eligible. Am I wrong on that?
Two-way players not playoff eligible.
Right. But he'll still get to be around the team, like probably will get to travel with them, just won't really play in the games. He'll get to experience all of the playoffs. I think that's super exciting for a guy who hasn't really broken ground in the NBA just yet. And, there's an obvious excitement with his skill set and his shooting ability, where it was enough to get rid of Anton Watson mid-season as a rookie to bring in Miles Norris. I think that says a lot of what Brad Stevens thinks of him. And I think that also factors into like his emotions with joining this team. Like, I think I'd feel pretty fucking good if someone was like, "Hey, rookie, we're going to get rid of him so we can get you in here."
Yeah. I feel like there is some context. Not that what you're saying is wrong. It is interesting. I wonder how much of, oh, he's a rookie versus he's 24 came into
No,
play
the
when they were
24 thing is
considering it.
very
Like,
fair.
like they're the same age. I don't know. Let's see. Anton Watson age. Anton Watson turns 25 October 6th. Miles Norris turns 25 April 15th. So he's about 8 months older than Anton Watson, around Drew Peterson's age. I don't know how old Drew Peterson is. Drew Peterson is turns 26 November 9th. So he's younger than Drew Peterson. Look, I think Miles Norris is a good player. Can obviously shoot the shit out of the ball. He's always been a good shooter in college, high school, up to now, from what I've seen and from what I've watched and looking at his stats, etc. It's a good thing always to bring on guys who have that skill set when you play in a system and you play the way the Celtics play. The question about can he defend? It's really hard to find film of defense on YouTube, stuff like that. It's always tough to find certain, non-highlight plays of players on YouTube. So I think it'll just be a matter of watching how he does in Maine. The Maine Celtics are on fire right now. Tyler Lashbrook just won the first Coach of the Month award in Maine Celtics history, and they've won. I think they're 7-1 in the last 8 games. They're awesome. So they clearly felt good enough. Not that they're like overly concerned with how the Maine Celtics record is. They're more concerned about development. They like Miles Norris better, but like let's see how he can play with those guys. Let's see how he fits, with JD Davison, Baylor Shireman, and Drew Peterson, and those guys up while they're playing. And it'll be an interesting sort of switch up because they don't really have a center now. Maine, not to talk about like that roster construction, because I don't think that was the Celtics' main priority when they were doing this. But like Hassan Ward's probably going to get a lot of the run at center now, and Anton Watson was playing a lot of small ball center for them, and he's not going to be there. So, and now he'll be with the Knicks, which is funny because he'll probably actually play at times because they don't have much center depth because Ariel Hukporti just went out for I think the season. So we might see Anton Watson minutes next time these two teams play. Anton Watson's a good player. I think he'll play well, but clearly they saw the upside in Miles Norris. And some other things he talked about how confident he was in his shooting. He said when they signed him, he was on a connecting flight coming back from Santa Cruz. And so his agent called him and said, go home, pack up, and be ready to go. You're out of here. Said he's excited, likes the city of Boston, but has to get used to the cold. Talked about how stretching the floor is how he can help the team. Joe Mazzulla was excited about his length, athleticism, shooting the ball, etc. And then I asked Norris about, his first impression of Joe Mazzulla, and he said he's got a sense of humor, kind of like hard to read, but he's got a sense of humor. I've been scrolling on Instagram and stuff before, and some of the press conferences are pretty funny. And then Sam Hauser was asked about him, and he said, I don't know anything about him, to be honest with you. I met him today, so we'll find out. But regardless, Miles Norris is excited, and you can see the vision for why they did what they did.
I really like that you ask every new guy what they think of Joe Mazzulla because I think it is the most important question you could ask them.
It's just a layup, man.
I want you to think of it like this: like you get a new job, you might we'll say like you're fresh out of college because even though he's not right out of college, he might as well be. Like he's looking to get his footing in the NBA, looking to be comfortable, and so on. You just walk in. And your boss is like Joe Mazzulla, just an absolute nut job psychopath, analyzing every metric possible, and also like talking in weird metaphors and giving weird quotes out. That would be quite the first day at work. I actually think the Celtics should have a camera crew follow every single new guy on their first day. And make sure the first Joe interaction is always included in whatever clip content that they put out, because it would be fantastic to consume.
I agree. My favorite was, the funny part is like all of these like famous quotes are because I asked about Joe Mazzulla, but I'll never get the credit for it. Like Derek White, the shirt he wore at the parade that said "No one cares." That's because I asked him at a press conference, like, "What's the best Joe Mazzulla quote?" And he said, "I congratulate him for whatever the month," and he said, "No one cares." And then that was the whole thing. The whole fucking Killer Whale offense is because I asked Sam Hauser what his favorite Joe Mazzulla quote is, and he goes, "He likes killer whales," and then it's not the whole thing. But whatever, man. No, Miles Norris. Dude. Every time I say his name, I think I'm almost say Miles McBride, and I don't think I'm ever gonna not. Regardless, we'll see what he can do. Excited to see what he can do with the Maine Celtics. Wonder if he'll get any burn in these like late April games where they don't play anybody. You'd have to assume yes, but he can shoot the fuck out of the ball, so that's something to watch for. But regardless, let us know what you think of Miles Norris down below. Are you sick of the Miles Norris content yet? Because it's the only thing going on right now. Hopefully not. We'll have game tomorrow, the Blazers game, which shit, Miles Norris might play in that one based on the injury report. Regardless, let us know what you think. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, and all that same. Take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment. Again, tell us what you think of Miles Norris. I'm sure you have plenty to say. You can also subscribe and hit the bell just in case we do any more Miles Norris content. You don't want to miss any of it. Aside from Miles Norris, we do cover the team. We do full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game, so there'll be a new one embedded into tomorrow's pod, as well as one on Friday morning because we have back-to-back games here coming up. You can also catch all of our streams on the channel. Jack and I are back doing pre-games half hour before every single tip-off, and Roundtable's back. We brought it back. It was there Tuesday night. A lot of fun. be on the lookout for them. We're going to be regularly doing them leading up to the playoffs and throughout the playoffs because this is the time to ramp up. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. All pods and game recaps are up there. So if you just want the audio versions, go ahead, follow us there, and they'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading all your emails every single time we do a pod, so that means we're reading them later today. Yeah, get them in, hbtcpod. Tell us what you're looking for. I guess we'll say on the weekend with the Lakers game, because that's probably by the time we'll actually read emails. Socials are at How About Them C's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook is the name of the pod. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jackson1NBA. His TikTok is at Jackson1NBA. He's pumping out videos there, breaking down things. He's doing great work. So check it out. You can find me on Twitter at Sam LaFrance NBA doing much more mediocre work. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac